Here's the analysis result for the guy you filled out the survey for. The result? C minus. This guy is below par. He has some issues to watch out for. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is more likely to talk big than actually make big things happen in his career. He might have clever ideas or say things that sound impressive, but he doesn't have the steady work habits or daily discipline needed to really climb high. Don't expect grand results from him. It's mostly just talk.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he won't have an emotional outburst or complain loudly. Instead, he'll just quietly retreat into himself. He's not easily rattled or dramatic, but don't expect him to pick himself up quickly and start fighting back either. He tends to quietly step away from challenges rather than taking action to fix them.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He isn't someone who goes around making friends or getting into fights at work. Most people probably see him as distant or hard to connect with rather than warm or friendly. At the same time, he doesn't get openly angry or make drama, so he isn't always in arguments.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your career, he won't cheer loudly or show deep pride. It's more likely he'll pull away and keep quiet about your success. He probably won't become openly jealous or create drama, but you won't get warmth or encouragement either.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he's likely to quietly feel uncomfortable, but he won't make a fuss or pick fights about it. He won't express his feelings openly or talk much, so you may notice him becoming more withdrawn or distant. He won't say hurtful things, but you'll sense he's not happy about the difference.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He doesn't plan or manage money very carefully, so there's a risk he might spend without thinking or let bills pile up. He's not naturally organized or cautious about details, so things like budgeting or saving don't come easily to him. You might find that he forgets due dates or doesn't track where the money goes.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He may sometimes act like he has more than he really does since he's not careful with money and doesn't keep track very well. He isn't one to brag loudly, but he might spend on things that make it look like he's doing better than he is without really thinking about the future. Don't expect him to have a clear sense of where he stands financially.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He isn't very open handed or warm, either with money or with his support. He's not mean, but he rarely thinks about others' needs or goes out of his way to help. If you ever need comfort or kindness, he may just stay quiet instead of reaching out.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He tends to be more secretive than open when it comes to money. He isn't chatty or interested in sharing details, so you might feel like you're left in the dark about where things stand financially. If you ask, he might give short or vague answers rather than having a real conversation.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He isn't likely to step up and share housework openly or treat it as a team effort. Since he keeps his distance and doesn't naturally think about what others need, he may expect you to handle most chores without offering much help. If fairness in housework is important to you, you'll need to speak up and set ground rules early on.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's not the type to roll up his sleeves and join in with chores or taking care of babies. He might say he'll help, but most of the time he'd rather stay in the background or just watch, maybe giving advice, but not much real effort. If you want an equal partner at home, it will take a lot of reminders from your side.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He doesn't usually argue or try to prove he's right, but he also doesn't make a real effort to understand your side. If you share your feelings or concerns, he's more likely to stay quiet or pull away rather than having a proper discussion. He avoids drama, but that means he also avoids connecting and working things out together.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he doesn't lash out or say hurtful things. He stays mostly quiet and keeps his feelings to himself. So you won't see him yelling or being aggressive. Instead of arguing, he tends to withdraw and avoid the issue altogether.
Does he have a bad temper?
He is not the type to get angry quickly. In fact, he usually stays calm and doesn't react with big emotions even when things go wrong. You won't find him shouting or losing his temper often, so you don't have to worry about sudden anger with him.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He rarely says sorry or takes responsibility when something goes wrong. Instead of blaming you openly, he's more likely to go quiet and avoid the subject altogether. He isn't mean, but he also doesn't work to make you feel better when there's a problem.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is not aggressive or pushy, so he is likely to respect your boundaries when you say no. He tends to keep to himself and doesn't go after things forcefully, so you won't have to worry about him ignoring your limits or being overbearing. He'll step back if you ask, but don't expect deep understanding or supportive conversation. He listens quietly, but that's about it.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He is not likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of getting upset or hurt, he'll probably just become quiet and keep to himself. If you need gentle understanding or warm reassurance in these moments, you may find him a bit cold or unresponsive.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him not to use private moments to hurt or embarrass you later. He isn't the type to bring up your personal things in arguments or say hurtful words just to make a point. You may miss warmth, but you won't have to worry about betrayal this way.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not easily distracted by other women and isn't likely to chase after attention outside the relationship. He keeps to himself and isn't outgoing or flirtatious, so you probably won't have to worry about him wandering. If faithfulness matters most to you, you can feel reasonably secure with him.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he's not over possessive or controlling. He doesn't get jealous easily, and he isn't the type to keep checking on you or act suspicious all the time. You won't find him making rules for you or acting like he needs to control your actions.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature isn't a cover for controlling behavior. He isn't someone who tries to manage what you do or makes a big show of watching over you. In fact, he's mostly hands off and doesn't get overly involved in your decisions or activities.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will most likely expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. He doesn't naturally step up as a team player or notice what needs to be done for the children. He won't argue or refuse openly, but he also won't volunteer or show much interest in being truly involved.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will stay calm and won't lose his temper. He doesn't get easily angry or react with harsh words, so there won't be yelling or punishment from him. However, his calm comes from being distant rather than from being gentle or understanding.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He probably won't stand in your way or stop you from being a mother and your own person. But don't expect much active support or encouragement from him either. He keeps to himself and doesn't often notice or appreciate all that you do. So you might feel like your efforts go unseen. He won't argue if you chase your dreams or focus on your career, but he also won't cheer you on or step in to lighten your load.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he's not the type to suddenly ask you to quit your career after you have a child. He doesn't usually get involved enough to push for big changes in your life, nor does he hold strong opinions about your work. If you continue your career, it will mostly be your decision and your effort to balance it all.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to just act polite on the surface rather than showing real warmth to your parents. He isn't naturally affectionate or tuned into the feelings of others, so don't expect him to make a special effort to build a close relationship with your family. He'll probably keep the conversation short and stick to basic manners instead of forming a deep bond or showing genuine care. He is unlikely to put in much effort to adjust to your family or blend in with their ways.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly and won't make things worse. He isn't quick to anger or likely to get into heated arguments. Instead, he tends to stay quiet and keep his distance from drama. Most likely, he'll let you handle things on your own and avoid getting involved.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
No, he isn't the type to expect you to suddenly become a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives. He doesn't pay much attention to social roles or pressure you to act a certain way for others. If you want to stay true to yourself around his relatives, he will not stand in your way.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it rather than take anyone's side, yours or theirs. He doesn't jump into conflicts or offer active support, even when you need someone by your side. Instead, he prefers to avoid the drama and keep his distance, leaving you to sort things out on your own.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He is not a mummy's boy, and he won't be strongly attached or always taking his mother's side. However, that doesn't mean he'll automatically stand up for you either. He doesn't get deeply involved in family matters or show strong loyalty to anyone.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
No, he's not likely to share details of your fights or private life with his mother or a sister. He keeps personal matters to himself and doesn't talk much about feelings or problems, even with close family. His quiet nature keeps your privacy safe, though it may also keep emotional connection limited.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, after all that analysis, we can conclude that this guy is a C minus. This guy is below par and he has some serious issues to watch out for. Being in a relationship with this man means a lot of quiet and doing things on your own. he keeps to himself. So you may feel like you're living beside someone, not truly with them.